your shirt off. Take your shirt off. Plantain.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy New Year. Welcome back to the world's most reckless football show. We've missed you. Hope you missed us. Right, so where have we left off since we last spoke? Liverpool keep on winning. LeBron, the GM, flexed one more time because that's all he ever does. Sadio Mane is officially Alaji. He's the greatest African player in the world. VAR is pissing everybody off. Is equal for every single person in the Premier League. We got a light-skinned friend that looks like a Dama. Got a dark-skinned friend that looks like a Dama. Ollie's at the wheel. Arsenal have a manager with great hair once again. Italy leads the racismo power rankings, and the rest of the leagues are back. So let's get straight into it. So let's talk about the league play. In League On, PSG's front three is formidable. As we said before, their front three is going to take them as far as they go. The league is pretty much wrapped up, sewn up, but the good thing about the French league is that there's so many great talents. I mean, there's Camavinga, there's Osimhen, who's the best, young striker in the world. Come on now.
You know they carry last?
Never. Nigerians never carry last. But yeah, there's a lot of great talents in the league. So if you're not watching League On, you should kind of get on there and watch it. This weekend was French Cup weekend, and Osimhen obviously scored. So it wasn't a league week, but they had their cup. And AVB has great hair, in case you didn't know. In the Bundesliga came back, and guess who scored a hat trick? The second best player at Dortmund, because the best player at Dortmund is obviously Jadon
Sancho
from South London, and he's obviously the best player in the world. Come on now.
Whatever you call it, drip down to my
Timo Werner keeps scoring. Let me check real quick and see what Bayern Munich did, because I think Bayern Munich might have dropped some points or something today. Let's see quickly if they decided to do that this week. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. They won 4-0.
You're joking. No way.
My friend's boy over here scored today too. Thiago scored. Let's move on.
Oh, that guy. The guy that only performs against Union Berlin and, I don't know, Paderborn and whatnot. But when he comes up against real central midfielders, he seems to go into hiding into his dad's restaurant. That guy.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, as you were.
In Italy, Ashley Young moved there, but it's racist, so who cares? Anyways. La Liga, the officials went to Saudi Arabia for money. Suarez has a long-term injury, and now Kike is now the manager, so let's see how long Messi Incorporated can keep him in the job. Diego Simone has his whole team, not just Yao Felix, feeling like Akon locked up. They lost 2-0 this weekend. They don't score goals, period. Zidane is bald, but Real Madrid won. You should watch more of the lower leagues, the lesser teams like Sociedad. They're really good. And Betis, Joaquin is still playing football. Joaquin's been playing football since I was 3. So, yeah. The MLS had a draft, and the league's kits are, let's just say that Inter Miami is still building their stadium, if that kind of sums up their kits for you. Let's go last to the last league that we obviously love the most, the Premier League. Liverpool, they won the title. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is what it is. Leicester lost. Chelsea lost. Arsenal dropped points. Sheffield looked good. They're even doing stuff on social media. Is anybody else you can talk about? I mean, I could talk about United, but I'm kind of just jaded at this point. I just don't want to talk about United.
From Manchester United here, Martial. Turn it into a threat. Anthony Martial is in. He went for power, and it just kept on rising too much.
Well, I said before the game, Martial is cold, he's got ice running through his veins, and if he gets in this channel against Alexander-Arnold and Gomez, who you can get at, he's the one.
Is anything you want to talk about in the Prem?
VAR sucks. That's just the reality of it. I think there's two things that need to happen, yeah? It's either you learn from the other leagues and you implement it properly, or you don't use it at all. You just don't use it at all, because at this point, teams are consistently being they're losing points because of it. I'm not just saying it's because I'm an Arsenal fan. It happens every week to other teams, not just Arsenal. But they're losing points because you're reviewing a decision and then not actually going with the correct decision. It doesn't make any sense. Liverpool should have been 2-0 up earlier in the game, for example. That was not they used VAR to chalk off the goal, but really, it's not really a free kick. You know what I mean? It's not a foul. So VAR, as it stands right now, is a complete joke, and I don't want to see it in England unless it's going to be implemented properly. If not, just get rid of it. Honestly, just get rid.
I mean, my last takeaway from the Premier League is that the league is drunk. Mourinho is just going full Mourinho at Tottenham, and like that's really it. Like,
I deserve the yellow card because I was rude, but I was rude with an idiot.
Well, third season Mourinho is now just normal Mourinho. That's what it is now at this point. I mean, I really do think he will never be the same again. Hence why he took the Tottenham job, because really prime Mourinho is not taking a job for a team that he can't win the league with. Like, Tottenham are just not going to win the league anytime soon. So that told you everything you need to know about Mourinho in 2020.
also, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to get out of that job. That's my last final thing to say about the Premier League. And as for that, we're done. So we love the game. You guys know this about us. This is our thing. We love football so much. We give you guys the jokes, but we really want to take this a little bit more seriously. I have a new section for you called Coach's Corner. One of my good friend over here is going to talk to you about some topics in more depth, because you know what we need? More seriousness. So, my friend, you want to take it away from here?
Well, first things first, the British football media are a complete joke, and none of them know what they're talking about. So hopefully I can provide some actual in-depth, takes and stuff that's actually factual, rather than just a bunch of jumped up old racist white men with their usual agendas. So with that being said, this week I want to focus on Liverpool's midfield, which is very, very interesting. There's a lot of talk about how they function, and what their actual jobs are, what their shape is. And the first thing that everyone should have noticed by now is, in 2020, if you're not an athlete in central midfield, for the most part you're going to get overrun. You don't particularly have to be the best footballer in the world to actually be a successful midfielder and play in a successful team. And that's testament to Jordan Henderson right now. Liverpool are currently to be the best team in England, and they are, as it stands, the best team, around, period. And Jordan Henderson wouldn't be on anybody's shoppers list, I don't think, this summer. I don't think being a good footballer means you can't actually be successful in this era of football. And again, someone like Arthur Fleck, who scored against Arsenal, again, not a great footballer, but he's having a very, very good season. First season up from the from the Championship, and he's got 5 goals in the Premier League. A Championship midfielder coming in and scoring 5 goals in the Premier League, and you're not even an attack-minded midfielder. Again, tells you everything you need to know about where football is in 2020. Now, this isn't shade at Liverpool's players on midfield, but it's just exactly what they are, to my mind. Fabinho, excellent footballer. He is amazing engine. He's an athlete. Again, Giorgio Wijnaldum, you see him play for Netherlands in a much different... Well, I wouldn't say a much different role, but he does play a different role to how he plays at Liverpool, and you can see he's got a lot more to his game. But for Liverpool, he's what we say he does a job for Liverpool. But that's not to say he's not talented and he isn't able to do other things. Again, supreme athlete. Probably got the best core strength in the league, probably. Jordan Henderson, again, their captain, and what a lot of people like to say their most important midfielder. I don't particularly agree, but I absolutely appreciate what he does for that midfield. He's a supreme athlete. He keeps it very, very simple. It's probably too simple for a lot of people's liking, but he rarely gives the ball away, because he mostly passes it backwards and sideways. But that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes keeping the ball ticking is what you need. But again, for my personal preference and what they actually do, it has really nothing to do with the reality of the fact that they are the best team around. I like my midfielders to be able to turn on the ball and receive on the half turn. I think probably in Liverpool's midfield, only Oxlade-Chamberlain could possibly do that, and Naby Keita. Again, both players who are physically, they are actually good athletes, but they can't stay fit. But again, the base thing I'm trying to get at is that if you look at all of their midfielders, the number one thing you'd all agree with is that they're all athletes. James Milner is 34 years old now, and he's one of the fittest players in the league. Again, a supreme athlete. So Liverpool's midfield is based on work ethic. The flair and whatever else is second nature to them, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, with that being said, that isn't to say that they haven't got some good footballers in their midfield. So again, Fabinho, good footballer. Wijnaldum, good footballer. Keita hasn't shown what he can do, but again, we all know he's a good footballer. Oxlade-Chamberlain, again, a good footballer. But their base is all on work ethic. That front three then allows them to basically dictate the game, because pressing that Liverpool midfield basically means that you're leaving gaps for Mane, Firmino and Salah, which, who really wants to do that in this day and age? Nobody's got a great defence these days, apart from Liverpool, funnily enough. So leaving space for the midfield basically means they can walk around and do what they want. Even they don't have to be the best footballers, they don't have to have the best passing, because they've got a lot more time on the ball than some other midfields would because of that front line. So their rotation, again, there isn't, unless Fabinho's playing, there isn't actually a set role for each midfielder in that Liverpool midfield. They're all very capable of switching out and doing what they need to do in terms of pressing, in terms of winning the ball, in terms of, joining their attack sometimes as well. Jordan Henderson tends to sit a lot more, but again, he's equally adept at getting forward. Like today in the United game, he got forward a couple of times. He hit the post with his left foot as well.
Yeah, you see the press against United. They pressed the hell out of United because they're all supreme athletes. They can run all day. And you can see the difference in midfield. Nemanja Matic was, in his day, to be fair, was a really, really great player. He's almost borderline.
Game today?
He did all right, but the thing is, you can't really press with a Matic and a Fred, because United also play with a 10. So you got, one athlete in Fred, and you got one incompetent person in Andreas Pereira, and then you got Matic, who's, to be fair, his best days are behind him. He can sit there, ping out a pass, but he's not gonna have all day to do it. So you're gonna be rushed by Liverpool's players, all three of them, who can, excellent athletes, and then, it is what it is.
It's difficult. They are genuinely a difficult side to play against, and that's strange considering that they are quite attack-minded as well. Probably not as attack-minded as last season, but they are still a very attack-minded team. But they are very, very difficult to play against defensively as well. But yeah, that even leads me onto the segue now. So 1v1 players, Liverpool have one of the best in the land in Mane at 1v1. He goes past his man very, very, very easily. And then again, you have Salah on the other side, who probably isn't as good 1v1, but he does definitely have it in his locker as well. And then you have Firmino. Firmino is able to beat players on the wing and through the middle as well, which is quite terrifying, because if you're able to beat players through the middle of the pitch just opens up. You can play passes down the middle, down your right or left side. The options are endless for you. And then on top of that, he can also play these back to goal as well. So having players that are able to beat players 1v1, whether it's in central areas or wide areas, is absolutely paramount to any team that wants to be successful. City stockpile them for fun. You've got Raheem Sterling. Again, he probably gets into the box a bit more, but he's very, very capable of beating his man. See the United game, even though they lost in the first half against Wan-Bissaka, he gave him some work. Then you have Bernardo Silva, again, not the quickest player in the world, but again, he's very, very adept at beating his man. You have Sane, who's injured, but again, very, very capable as well. And then we have, personally, I think, the best 1v1 player in the league.
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
We had Mahrez. There isn't a thing that man can go on either side of you. He's probably got the best fake shot in the league to me. I think there isn't much you can do about it, because he's always going to go on his left foot, but he fakes you out and there's nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely nothing to do about it. And what that does for you, once you're able to overload and then switch it out to someone 1v1, you've got all the time in the world. We've got players that have got excellent first touches and then able to go past their man and then create endless amounts of opportunities, whether it's going to be a cutback, whether it's going to be flash across the goal. There's so many different opportunities. That's why I thought in today's game, with the athletes you have in midfield, having players that actually have flair is very, very important on the wings, because again, you can have all the athletes in the world, but if you haven't got anyone to create chances for you, especially if it's not going to be through the middle, where else is it going to come from? It has to come from the wings. So again, it's very, very important in this day and age. Any team that wants to be successful, you have to have probably minimum 2 1v1 players. If you're going to start both of them, if not, one of them has to be starting in your first 11.
Yeah, and that's what United are missing right now. Rashford is probably our best 1v1 player. Martial doesn't really do it as much as he used to. And then we got someone like...
And he's probably your best dribbler, which is actually quite funny.
And we have someone like Dan James, who really is just like a cross-country runner with speed, and he's, so...
He's more like it's getting behind and beat his man.
Yeah.
Which you also need in today's game as well.
Yeah, so...
Again, 1v1 players are definitely the ones that are bad priority.
Yeah, so the point of this is to tell you this. Liverpool have a bunch of ridiculous athletes in midfield, and you need 1v1 players. And that's just the way football is nowadays. It's what we call, the P&P era for jokes. But, it's a lot of like pace and power in these things now. It's just, are you gonna adapt or are you gonna die? That's really it. So, yeah.
And it's not the first time we've seen it in the game as well. I mean, if we go back to when I started watching, when Arsenal started being successful again, Arsenal had Petit and Vieira who would win the ball high up the pitch and it'd be one pass and it'd be a goal. And then on the wings, you had Mark Overmars, one of the quickest players I've ever seen at Arsenal. And you had Anelka, Ian Wright, Dennis Bergkamp, all players that were quick, strong, very, very strong, in fact. So again, it's not something that's new to the game, but it's new in this era.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna leave it with you guys. More PNP for the world. Yo, so transfer rumors. My friend, you wanna add anything about transfer rumors? I got one thing to say. If you wanna add anything.
Yeah. If you're an Arsenal fan, Upamecano isn't happening this month, and if it is, and if it does happen, it will be in the summer. There's no way Leipzig are giving up their best, arguably their best centre back when they could potentially win the league in January. It makes no sense in a league where defending isn't the priority. In fact, it probably is the last thing they think of in the Bundesliga. There's no chance they're giving up, a very, very, very good defender, even at 21 years old. Even if he's error prone, they're not going to risk it. Even for 40 million, it's just not going to happen. I would say that anybody else, people like Chelsea and stuff like that, Chelsea are more likely to spend because they probably need reinforcements if they want to definitely secure top 4. I don't see how they can go the whole season with playing Tammy Abraham up front. They're going to need somebody else to help, someone competent to help. United, again,
I'll take this. Ed Woodward, I don't want to curse, but you do your job. The Glazers, give some money. Look, man, United are hurting badly. Literally, Rashford, Martial's probably hurt right now as we're speaking, but Rashford, Pogba, and McTominay are out with long-term injuries. It's not ideal because you keep trying to run these players into the ground because you want to save money or because of whatever, you're going to get hurt. So, and for United fans, we're the biggest club in the world. Rumors are gonna happen all the time. Temper your expectations. I know sometimes it gets exciting when you get these links, but temper your expectations because at the end of the day, nothing's gonna happen. So it's kind of it. But we at the Shirtless Plantain Show, we want you to use the hashtag SPS, and we want you to kind of tell us who exactly do you want for your team in the transfer window. So
and who you want to get rid of as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to sell Mustafi and Socrates this window, but that's just me. So.
Yeah, and I would love to get rid of Phil Jones and at least 8 other players in the United's team. But before we leave, you want to talk about Rashford's injury real quick because that really pissed me off. I'm actually kind of really annoyed about that.
Yeah, that's really, really sad. When I actually read Henry Winter's tweet, and the description of it just made me kind of throw up a little bit in my mouth. I mean, a floating bone in your ankle, what the fuck is that? Having one fracture and it turns out to be 2, it sounds like he's actually been beaten up. It doesn't sound like he's a footballer. It sounds like someone just beating the shit out of him with a baseball.
Yeah.
And that's only come from, playing pretty much every single game. Why would he need to play in certain Carling Cup games and certain...
He doesn't need to play against Colchester. He doesn't need to do any of these things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of...
coming off the bench as well, it doesn't make any sense.
It's a lot of gross incompetence on United's part, from the board to the, executives to the manager to even Ollie should know better. Ollie had a long-term injury himself. He should know that he has to save Rashford from himself. Obviously he's a young kid. He wants to do everything, but you got to save the kid from himself. And now the poor kid, Van Persie said he had the same injury. and it's not fun because now the kid's gonna be out until April and the team is suffering and the kid's suffering. So it's not fair. He's having a really good season. Could have probably got 30 goals and assists, even more this season. But it's tragic because now he's out for 2 or 3 months, and here we are. So again, not to be so sad, don't forget to use the hashtag SPS and tell us who you want your team to sign and who you want your team to get rid of. So, peace. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode. And thank you so much for your continued support. I mean, it warms our heart to see how many people really love us and love the content we give. We're gonna make sure that we make you guys continue to laugh and educate you about football from our perspective. So once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Apple Music. And last but not least, we're on Twitter now, baby. So follow us on Twitter at The Plantain Show. Yes, we're on Twitter. We won't be as haram as I am on my account, but we'll be active on there. So follow us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your cats, dogs, sisters, mothers, brothers, all that stuff. So yeah, from us, we're out. Peace.
Take your shirt off. Take your shirt off. Plantain. Take your shirt off. Have some